Where are the Jews now? Where have they gone? Mommy tells me that my feet are too small. Mommy tells me that my nose is too large. Why can't I rip people off as easily as a Jew? Jews, Jews, Jews! Why do we exist? If I could be free from all the shackles of reason, then I would go to the mall and buy a packet of cigarettes and smoke all of them until I cry of sadness, sadness. If only there was more, if only there was love.
Sonnet 67. Wherefore, with an affection should he live, and with his presence, grace and piety, that sin by him advantage should achieve, and lace itself with his society. Why should false painting imitate his cheek, and still dead, seeing his living hue? Why should poor beauty indirectly seek roses of shadow, since his rose is true? Why should he live? Now nature bankrupts is beggared of blood to push through lively veins. For she had no extra career, now but his, and proud of many, lives upon his gains. Oh, him she stores to show what wealth she had, in days long since, before these so bad. Sonnet 69, nice. Those parts of thee, very nice. Those parts of thee that the world's eye doth view, when nothing that the thought of hearts can mend. All tongues, the voice of souls, give thee that due. Uttering bare truth, even so foes commend. Thy outward lust with thy word praise is crowned. For the same tongues that give us thee so thine own, in other accents do this praise confound. By seeing further the eye hath shown, they look into the beauty of thy mind, and let it guess they measure by thy deeds. Then churls their own thoughts, although their eyes were kind, to thy fair flower at the rank smell of weeds. And why thy odor matcheth not thy show? The soil is this, that thou dost come and grow.
A lover's complaint. From off a hill, whose concave womb reworded a plaintful story from sistering veil, my spirits tend this double voice accorded, and doubt I laid to list the sad turned tale. Ere long espies a fickle maid full pale, tearing of papers, breaking wings a-twain, storming her world with sorrow's wind and rain. Upon her head a plaited hive of straw, which fortified her vigilance from the sun, whereupon the thought might think overcome its song. Whereupon the thought might think sometime its all. There we are. The caress of a beauty spent and done. Time had not scythe all that young youth begun, nor youth all quit, but spite of heaven's fell rage, some beauty peeped through lattice of seared age. Oft did she heave her neck unto her eyne, which on it had conceited characters, laundering the silken figures in the brine that seasoned woe had pelleted in tears. And often reading what contents it bears, as often shrieking undistinct woe, and clamors of all sizes, both high and low. Sometimes her levelled eyes her carriage ride, as they did battery to the spheres intend. Sometime diverted their poor balls are tied to the orthered earth. Sometimes they do extend their view right on, anon their gazes lend to every place at once, and nowhere fixed. The mind and sight drastically commixed. Her hair, nor loose nor tied in formal plait, proclaimed in her a careless hand of pride. For some untucked descended her sheaved hat, hanging her pale and pinned cheek aside. Some in her threaden filth did bide, and true to bondage would not break from thence, though shackly braided in loose negligence. 1,000 favors from Mon she drew, of amber, crystal, and of beaded jet, which one by one she in a river threw, upon which weeping magnet she was set, margined. Like Unshuri, applying wet to wet, or monarch's hands that lets not bounty fall, where want cries some, but where exceeds begs all. Of folded schedules had she many a one, which she pursued, hide tore, and gave the flood. Cracked many a ring of poised gold and bone, bidding them find their... The fuck is that? Spolutras in mud. Found yet more letters, sadly penned in blood, with shielded silk feet, and effectively, and swathed and sealed to curious secrecy. Damn. These often bathed her, she in her flexive eyes, and often kissed, and also often gan to tear. Cried, O false blood, thou register of lies, what unapproved witness dost thou bear? Ink would have seemed more black and damned here. This said, in top of rage their lines she rents, big discontent so breaking their contents. A reverend man that grazed his cattle nigh, sometime a blusterer, that the ruffle knew, of court, of city, and had let her go by, the swiftest hours observed as they flew. Towards this afflictive fancy flastly drew, and privileged by age desires to know, in brief, the grounds and motives of her woe. So slides he down upon his grained bat, and calmly distant sits he by her side. When he again desires her, being sat, her grievance with his hearing to divide. If that from him there may be aught applied, which may her suffering ecstasy assuage, 'Tis promised in the charity of age. Father, she says, though in me you behold the injury of many a blasting hour, let it not tell you judgment I am old. Not age but sorrow over me hath power. I might as well have been spreading flower, fresh to myself, if I had self-applied, love to myself, and to no love beside. But woe is me, too early I attend a youthful suit, it was to gain my grace, of one by nature's outwards so commend, that maiden's eyes struck all over his face. Love lacked a dwelling, and made him her place, and when in his fair parts she did abide, she was anew lodged and newly defied. His browny locks did hang in crooked curls, and every light occasion of the wind upon his lips their silken parcels hurls. What's sweet to do will aptly find. Each eye that saw him did enchant the mind, for his visage was in little drawn, what largeness thinks in paradise was sawn. Small show of a man was yet upon his chin, his phoenix down begun but to appear, like unshorn velvet on that termless skin, whose bare outbragged the web it seemed to wear. It showed his visage by that cost more dear, and nice affections wavering stood in doubt, if best were as it was, or best without. His qualities were beauteous in his form, for maiden-tongued he was, and thereof free. Yet if men moved him, was he such a storm as oft twixt May and April to see, when winds breath sweet, truly unruly through they be. His rudeness so with his authorized youth did livery falseness in a pride of truth. Well, he could ride, and often men would say, that horse his mettle from his rider takes, proud of subjection, noble by the sway. What rounds, what bounds, what course, what stop he makes. And controversy hence a question takes, whether the horse by him became his deed, or he managed by the well-doing steed. But quickly on this side the verdict went, his real habitude gave life and grace to appertainings and to ornament, accomplished in himself, not in his case, all aids themselves made fairer by their pace. Came for additions, yet their purposed trim, pieced not his grace, but were all graced by him. So on the tip of his subduing tongue, all kind of arguments and questions deep, all replication prompt and reason strong, for his advantage still not wake and sleep. To make the weeper laugh, the laugher weep, he had the dialect and different skill, catching all passions in his craft of will. That he did in the general bosom reign, of young, of old, and sexes both enchanted, to dwell with him in thoughts, or to remain in personal duty, following where he haunted, concepts bewitched, ere he desire, have granted, and dialogue for him what he would say, asked their own wills, and made their wills obey. Many there were that did his picture get, to serve their eyes, and in it put their mind, like fools that in imagination set the goodly objects which abroad they find of lands and mansions, theirs in thought assigned, and laboring in low pleasures to bestow them, than the true gouty landlord which doth vow them. So many have that never touched his hand, sweetly supposed them mistress of his heart. My woeful self that did in freedom stand, and was my own free simple not in part, but with his act and youth and art, through my affections in his charmed power, reserved the stalk and gave him all my flower.
Yet did I not, as some my equals did, demand of him, nor being desired, yielded, finding myself in honor so forbid, with safest distance I mine honor shielded, experience for me many bulwarks builded, or proof new bleeding, which remained the foil of this false jewel and its amorous spoil. But whoever shunned by precedent the destined ill she must herself essay, or forced examples against her own content, to put the bypassed perils in her way. Counsel may stop a while, what will not stay, for when we rage, advice is often seen, by blunting us to make our wits more keen. Nor gives it satisfaction with our blood, that we must curb it upon others' proof, to be forfed the sweets that seem so good, for fear of harms that preach us in our behoof. O appetite from judgment stand aloof, the one a palate hath that needs will taste, though reason weep and cry, it is thy last. For further I could say, this man's untrue, and knew the patterns of his foul beguiling, heard where in his plants in others' orchards grew, saw how deceits were gilded in his smiling, knew vows were ever brokers to defile, thought characters and words merely but art, and bastards of his foul adulterate heart. And long upon these terms I held my city, till thus he began beseech me, gentle maid, have of my suffering you've come, feeling pity, and be not of my holy vows afraid, that's to ye sworn to none was ever said. For feasts of love I have been called unto, till now did ne'er invite nor never woo. All my offences that abroad you see were errors of the blood, none of the mind. Love hath made them not, which with acture they may be, where neither party is nor true nor kind. They sought their shame, that so their shame did find, and so much less of shame in me remains, but how much of me their reproach contains. Among the many that mine eyes have seen, not one whose flame my heart so much as warmed, or my affection put to the smallest teen, or of my leisures ever charmed. Harm have I done to them, but ne'er was harmed, kept hearts in livers, but mine own was free, and reigned commanding his monarchy. Look here what tributes founded fancies sent me, of paled pearls and rubies red as blood, figuring that they their passions likewise lent me, of grief and blushes aptly understood, and bloodness white and the encrimsoned mood, effects of terror and dear modesty, encamped in hearts but fighting outwardly. And lo, beyond these talents of their hair, with twisted metal amorously impeached, I have received from many a several fair, their kind acceptance weepingly beseeched, with the annexations of fair gems enriched, and deep-brained sonnets that did amplify each stone's dear nature, worth, and quality. The diamond, why, 'twas beautiful and hard, whereto his envious properties did tend. The deep green emerald, in whose French regard weak sights their sickly radiance do amend. The heaven-hued sapphire and opal blend, with objects manifold, each several stone, with wit well blazoned, smile or made some moan. Lo, all these trophies of affections hot, of pensived and subdued desires the tender nature hath charged me that I heard them not, but yield them up where I myself must render. That is to you my origin and ender, For these, of force, must your oblations be, since I their altar you impratrum me. O then, advance of yours that phraseless hand, whose white weighs down the airy scale of praise. Take all these similes to your own command, hollowed with sighs that burning months did raise, that me your minister for you obeys, work under you, and to your audit comes, there distract parcels in combined sums. Lo, this device was sent me from a nun, a sister sanctified, of holiest note, which late her noble suit in court did shun, whose rarest havings made the blossoms dote. For she was sought by spirits of richest coat, but kept cold distance, and did thence remove, to spend her living in eternal love. But oh, my sweet, what labor is't to leave the thing we have not, mastering what not strives, paling the place which did no form receive, playing patient sports in unconstrained gyves. She that her frame of so to herself contrives, the stars of battle scatteth by the flight, and makes her absence valiant, not her might. Oh, pardon me, and that my boast is true, the accident which brought me to her eye, upon the moment did her force subdue, and now she would be caged, cloister, fly. Religious love put on out religion's eye, not to be tempted would she be immured, and now to tempt all, liberty procured. How mighty then you are, oh, hear me tell, the broken bosoms that to me belong have emptied all their fountains in my well, and mine I pour your ocean all among, I strong o'er them, and you o'er me, being strong, must for your victory us all congest, as compound love to psychic your cold breast. My parts had power to charm a sacred nun, who discipled A, dieted in grace, believed her eyes when they sailed begun, all vows and consecrations giving place. Almost potential love, thou bond nor space, and thee hath neither string, knot, nor confine, for thou art all, and all things else are thine. When thou impressed, what are precepts worth of stale example? When thou wilt inflame, how coldly those impediments stand forth, of wealth, of file fear, law kindled frame. Love's arms are peace, yet against rule, against sense, against shame, and sweetens in the suffering pangs it bears, the alloys of all forces, shocks, and fears. Now, all these hearts that do on mine depend, feeling it break with bleeding groans they pine, and supplicant their sighs to you extend, to leave the battery that you make against mine, lending soft audience to sweet design, and credent soul to that strong bonded oath that shall prefer and undertake my troth. This said, the watery eyes he did dismount, those sights still then were leveled on my face, each cheek a river running from fount, with Brenish current downward flowed apace. Oh, how the channel to the stream gave grace, who glazed with crystal gate from the flowing roses, that gave that flame through water with which their hue encloses. Oh, Father, what a hell of witchcraft lies in the small orb of one particular tear, but with the inundation of the eyes, what rocky heart to water will not wear? What breast so cold that is not warmed here? O cleft affect, cold modesty, hot wrath, both fire from hence and chill extincture hath. For lo, his passion but an art of craft, even there resolved my reason into tears. There my white stole of chastity I daffed, shook off my sober guards and civil fears. Appear to him as he to me appears, all melting through our drops. This difference bore, this poisoned me, and mine did him restore. In him a plentitude of subtle manner, applied to costals, all strange forms receive, of burning blushes, or of weeping water, or swooning paleness, he picks and pleads. In either aptness as it best deceives, to blush as speeches rank, to weep at woes, or to turn white and swound in treasured shows. That not a heart which in his level came should scrape the hail of all his all-hurting aim, showing fair nature is both kind and tame, and veiled in them did win who he would maim. Against the thing he thought he would exclaim, when he most burnt in heart waste luxury, he preached pure maid and praised cold chastity. Thus merely with the garment of grace, the naked and concealed fiend he covered, that fun experiment gave the tempter place, which he, like a cherubim, above them hovered. Who young and simple would not be so loving? Ay me, I fell, and yet do question me, what should I do again for such a sin? Oh, that infected moisture of his eye, or that false fire with which in his cheek so glow. Oh, that force on thunder from his heart did fly. Oh, that sad breath his spongy lungs bestow. Oh, that sad, oh, that borrowed motion seeped so. Would yet again betray the force betrayed, and new revert a reconciled maid. Stop fucking coming over there. Jesus Christ. You can't call that singing if it just says your word.
The Phoenix and Turtle. Let the bird of loudest lay on the soul of Arabian tree, herald sad and trumpet be, to whose sound chaste wings obey. But thou, shrieking harbinger, foul procurer of the fiend, augur of the fever's end, to this troop come thou not near. From this session interdite, every fowl of tyrant wing, save the eagle, feathered king, keep the obsequy so strict. Let the priest in surplice white, that defunctive music, God, can be the death-divining swan, lest the requiem lack his right. And thou treble-dated crow, that thy sable gender markest, with a breath thou givest and takest, mongst our mourners shalt thou go. Here the anthem doth commence. Love and constancy is dead. Phoenix and the turtle fled in a mutual flame from hence. So they loved, as love in twain had the essence but in one. Two distincts, division none. Number there in love was slain. Hearts remote, yet not asunder. Distance and no space was seen twixt the turtle and his queen, but in them it were a wonder. So between them love did shine, that the turtle saw his right, flaming in the phoenix sight. Either was the other's mine. Property was thus appalled, that the self was not the same. Single nature's double name, neither two nor one was called. Reason, in itself confounded, saw division grow together,
to themselves, yet either neither, simple were so well compounded, that it cried, how true a twain seemeth this concordant one, love hath reason, reason none, if what parts can so remain. Whereupon it made this strain to the phoenix and the dove, co-supremes and stars of loves, as chorus to their tragic scene.
Beauty, truth, rarity, grace, and all simplicity, here enclosed in cinders lie. Death is now the phoenix nest, and the turtle's loyal breast to eternity doth rest, leaving no posterity. 'Twas not their infirmity, it was married chastity. Truth may seem, but cannot be. Beauty brag, but 'tis not she. Truth and beauty, buried be. To this urn, let those repair that are either true or fair. For these dead birds sigh a prayer.
Don't fucking take another Splenda pegging, you bitch! Stop it! Shut up! You're too mad! Man with power, damn you!
He took another Splenda packet, everyone. I wanna know that my voice hurts a lot from reading that, but it does not hurt as much as a Splenda packet, idiot! Get him in there. Get Kermit in there. Yes. Doesn't have a read on it.
believe.
N.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look, what serve fit? 'Tis what thou lovest, 'tis once, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell Hero I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is she shall be mine. In practice, fine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Like a fucking chipmunk. If you are listening to this recording, if you have been listening to this record,
For how long has it been? 47.
yeah, that sounds about right.
You deserve a medal. You deserve a. Why are you unbuckling your belt? You deserve a medal
For after this recording.
for after this. Put it on the recording. Let's go. This is allegedly jazz.
We can't put it on YouTube.
Whip it out.
We can't put it on YouTube.
This is not a video.
No, but they're gonna hear Colin's orgasm.
That's not.
I'm not gonna be the one orgasming.
Oh, is it Luke?
Yeah, whip it out.
I'm not gonna whip it out.
Colin, will you whip it out?
How much is $20?
$20.
$20 is $20.
I do actually have $20.
What does $20 sound like?
I do actually have 20. We get thing at 20.
We both have 20.
If you want me to whip out my dick, I'll do it.
Okay, do it.
See, that would be a level of freedom that will be unprecedented in the history of allegedly jazz.
That is very true.
Now I'm getting an erection.
Like, if you were to do this, like, I think the universe might explode. Like, honestly.
I can do it right here, right now.
Have you seen you remember the freedom of seeing me breakdance, right? That level of freedom we haven't attained it in the music. It hasn't happened in the music.
Alright. Right.
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 Should we ask the 8-ball if you should?
Yeah.
Are you scared if the 8-ball says yes?
Yes.
It would be very terrifying if the 8-ball
It would be.
It would be the most terrifying thing I think I would have experienced all week.
Wait.
No, I'm doing it.
Wait,
You can't
no.
trust him. He'll rig it.
No,
Yeah.
he'll look at- he doesn't believe.
Fuck.
Brady believes.
Hey, Magic 8 Ball. Should Colton pull out his dick?
I'm fucking scared.
Come on. Come on. Oh.
There's too many bubbles.
Should Colton pull out his dick?
I'm scared now.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
It does not say that. It is on his side.
Well, okay, sorry.
It's on a curve right
yeah.
now.
Should Cohen pull out his dick?
No, just like leave it on the table. Let it
It's not
stable.
gonna. It's not gonna.
Let it stabilize.
That's not how it works.
It's this one right there.
That is the most bullshit thing I've ever heard, Brady.
What?
Like, once it actually settles.
Okay, it's not gonna settle because of the bottom. Okay. Should Cohen show us his dick? No, you're not letting it settle.
I'm trying to let it show us anything. Brady, did you break it?
It's always been like this.
Yeah, it won't land on the side. I don't.
There's too many bubbles. You have to say the question every time.
Should Colton whip out his dick? Most likely.
Well, here's the thing. You never see it. It's said that you can see it. So like, bam, there we are. I whipped it out, but you didn't have to see it.
put his fly down. He just
I
took
did.
off-
I did. I didn't put my fly down, but I like dropped it. Okay.
You dropped it. Okay.
Yeah, I dropped it. But like, you don't have to see it. That's the
Where's
thing.
your saxophone?
Copped
What?
out. Cop out.
Where's your saxophone?
Of course, it's a fucking cop out. You asked the 8-ball if it should show us my dick, and you wouldn't let it settle, so it wouldn't work. Luke asked if I should just whip it out. I
Is
whipped it
Cohen
out.
a pussy?
Okay, you're gonna play the saxophone.
I'm gonna wash my hands.
Okay.
You do not touch his actual dick.
Okay. How about this? Should we try spanking each other on the ass? Not getting a straight answer here. You may rely on it.
That's it.
It said you may rely on it.
When,
Okay, we're gonna try.
Should we
spanking.
go to-
No. I got it. Okay.
I was gonna ask him,
Okay.
should we go to Waffle House?
Okay.
you should get a Waffle
We should go to
Should we
Waffle
end
House.
the album? Should we?
We should go to Waffle House.
Should we end the
No,
album
like for real.
right here? Fucking 8-ball.
Whoa!
I those 8-ballers. All right, I'm gonna get.
It is black.
It's not settling. Okay, I'm just gonna.
Set it down.
Should we go to Waffle House?
We should.
Okay.
You're biased.
It's fucking.
Oh
what-
yeah, of course.
You didn't start it again, did you? You put us through more of this hell.
This album doesn't end. Like I haven't felt it end yet.
I felt it on multiple
I
times.
did feel it end already.
No, it didn't really end.
Tyranny.
Don't you do that?
Cohen's throwing down a ukulele. Woo!
No, we have to sing.
Okay.
Get off the edge here. We have to sing.
Waffles or pancakes? Leave it down in the comments.
Like and subscribe. Okay, we have to sing. Actually, everyone go in a corner.
I'm already cornered.
Go
I'm already.
You know, death is always around the corner.
You're not in a corner. What are you doing?
He is not. None of them are in a corner right
Are you whipping out your dick right now?
now. Luke is whipping out his dick right now. He seems to be holding it like he's peeing, but he's not actually peeing. I wish you guys could see this right now.
You giggle? You giggle while holding your own dick?
I think he's wait. He's got his phone over there. I think.
No. What?
You want to go to the movies at 7:20?
At when?
7:20.
7:20. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Wait, 7:20?
Yeah.
God, that's kind of late, actually. Late? What movie?
That is pretty late.
It's called Harry. It's like a football movie. It's scary.
No, I'm not. No.
You don't want to go?
No.
What are you doing?
Okay.